feeling stuck like you, don't know what to do. I know there's more in you, but you cannot see it. There's a remedy, and I've got the strategy. It's time to turn your dreams into a reality. Push, and I'ma help you. 'Cause it's time to.
Welcome back again to another episode of Push Talk Podcast. My name is Ose Sesay, and I am your host. And I'm here to push you towards your purpose and business, career, and beyond. And I have so many guests that want to do the same. So before we get started, take a moment, hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. You can find us at Push Talk Podcast, as well as on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Push Talk Podcast. And while you're there, go ahead and leave us a review. We want to continue to make sure we provide you content that you love and hear what your thoughts are of our show. So today we have an amazing guest. Her name is Steph, and she's going to talk to us about what do you do when you're feeling stuck in your career, how to advance, how to move forward. And Steph is the perfect person for that. And let me tell you why. Stephanie is a career professional with a background in strategy, business development, and partnership. She earned her MBA and master's in international studies from Wharton Business School, whoop whoop, go Stephanie, and the University of Pennsylvania School in Arts and Science. She currently works as global sales and growth partnerships on the global client group at Google. She will share tips today, you guys, with us on just navigating your career, what to do in the corporate world when you're feeling stuck. And she's going to make sure it's a good time. So get ready, get your pens and papers, and let's go ahead and talk to Stephanie. Now that you have evolved, you transitioned from Amex to your new role at Google. Like, what is after assessing all of these amazing opportunities you've had, starting your business, navigating your career, navigating being stuck, what is one lesson that you would want listeners to know, just if they're at that place of just a crossroads, they want to advance in their career, they're not sure, how to even deal with maybe life issues, things that's come up. What advice would you give to them to keep going forward, keep allowing them something to go forward, but giving grace, like you said?
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, and I don't know it all, right? I'm constantly trying to navigate. But one thing I would say is if I think about the trajectory of my career, there's no one lesson that I have experienced that has not been useful in my current role, right? So it's hilarious because I think a lot and I reflect a lot on both current and past experiences. And I'd literally be thinking about something, and then something that happened in a role like 4 years ago will come up. And it's something that at that point I didn't even think was important. And for me to be able to, like, 4 years later, match it to something that's happening in my life now and get the lessons out of it makes me confirm that everything is important, right? And so, every experience that you have it for a reason, and it's going to empower you as you go through your career. And then the second thing is, like, advocate for yourself, right? Look, it's especially women of color. I mean, it's taken me a long time, and that's why I'm like, I negotiate a lot, because one of the ways that I advocate for myself is keeping in the back of my mind, Steph, negotiate just to negotiate, right? Just do it for the sake of it. And and as I did more of that, I realized that if I was walking into a conversation, it was like top three. It wasn't even intentional. It's become so part of me. It's like top three. By the time I'm done with this conversation, this person needs to know Steph did this. This person needs to know Steph has experience here. And this person needs to know Steph is funny as hell, or like very direct, or like something, right? So I constantly keep in mind you're negotiating, right? And that has been very helpful to me, because in every conversation, in every transaction, I'm walking away fulfilled. I say that because for me, I feel worse when I disappoint myself than when I disappoint other people. And a part of it is like fairness is very important to me. So when I was starting my career and I felt like I couldn't advocate for myself as much, or when I felt like I was the only person of color, and because of that I couldn't speak up in the meetings as much. Yes, there were so many part of it that was outside of my control, but I will go home and beat myself over it. Right. I
Yeah.
beat myself up for it. And now I'm in a space where I'm like, yeah, maybe I won't speak up in the meeting because it's not comfortable. But I have had one-on-ones with all of these people in the team that they know that even if I didn't speak up, that Steph is smart as hell,
Yeah.
right? And then, but that's why I was saying, like, know yourself, know what triggers you, know what it's important to you, know what what story. And this is something that I haven't done really well, and I'm working on it, because sometimes I meet someone at work and I'm like, I give them the whole thing and I'm like, and I did this and I did this and I went to school here and I did all of that. And I can tell that they're impressed, because unfortunately human beings are we're interesting people, right? And when you lay your qualifications out there, someone knows that they need to actually prove that you're not smart, versus when you come in being humble, then they can easily disregard you, right? So like for me, even when it's a coffee chat, like simply someone getting to know me, I'm like, so I did this and I did this and I'm interested in this, and like, what's your perspective? Like, I need to leave that conversation with this person thinking this is a smart woman. It's just something that's important to me, right? So that's on my list. I don't know, like, career progression is important to me. So there are certain people that when I speak to, I'm like, I say I'm learning to, like, I'm very direct, but one thing that I struggled with in the beginning of my career that I'm still working through was being direct professionally, without coming across as whatever else, because I'm very assertive, right? So I was always concerned, especially when you're starting your career, you're like, whoa, I just have 2 years of experience. Can I tell this person I want a promotion after 1 year? You know what? Now I firmly believe that you should let people know where your mind is, so that even if they don't give it to you, they know that Steph wants a promotion. Even if they don't give it to you, they know Steph wants more money. I just want people to know.
Steph like the finer things, right?
Yes, it's just important for me, for people to know where my mind is at, and I'm fine with that. So in summary, it's like, know what is important to you. When you meet someone, what do you want them to know about you? And it's not going to be perfect, because sometimes you meet people and you gel really well, and there's some people you meet and you're just like, God, can the time go away, because you don't have that chemistry. It happens professionally too. But be upfront with yourself on what is important for people to know about me. What is important for me to take away from every conversation? How do I advocate for myself? Do I want to ask for more money? Even if my voice is shaking, I need to make sure that I express that. Do I want a promotion? I need to express that. And just you know what? Life is short, right? Like, a lot of us try to separate professional and personal, but like, at the end of the day, your professional life does something to you. It enriches your life in a different way. At the end of the day too, it's not everything, right? Like, you can get sick and you wouldn't even think about work. You can get fired and that's that. But nonetheless, because life is short, know that you need to get everything that is due you. Yes, you have to be, what do you call it, kind. You have to be reasonable, you have to be diplomatic, but every time that you leave a conversation, let the person know who you are, what is important to you.
Yes. Oh, Steph, look, we already already went over. So okay, so first of all, let's just establish we have to do a part two, because I have a lot of follow up on things.
That's
Just really
fine.
went
That's
into,
fine.
as a woman, just your logic on really being able to be assertive and how that comes off, and so much. So I think we need to do a part two. So let's plan that. So listeners, if you want to hear more about Steph, come back next month. We will do a part two, because to catch Miss Google herself, I got to schedule like months in advance.
Okay,
So,
lovely.
so I am just so proud, Stephanie, of how far you've come. You've been awesome today. I've taken notes myself on things that I have to continue to remember. It's okay to be who you are and say what you want, and you're not doing anything wrong, especially as a woman of color, as women, too. So please, Stephanie, let us know where we can find you. I'm going to make sure that for those who want to follow you, get to know more. Do you mind sharing your Instagram handle with us? Do you
Yes,
mind?
totally. And I will share my email. I will share my email and probably update it with the calendar thing. I would be happy to have 15, 20 minutes conversations with people and just
Yeah.
navigating career and just how you think about it. And like I'm a firm believer of like investing in your career, right? Like I mentioned before, I like ease. And if I
Yeah.
can pay someone to do something for me, I do it. So like I have an executive coach, right? When I have to talk about performance, when I have to talk about hard conversations, I reach out to my executive coach, I reach out to my
Mm.
mentors. I call Ase all the time with like crisis, right? So another thing that I forgot to mention is like have your village, have people around, whether you're paying them as a therapist, as a professional coach, as your best friend, that you can kind of bounce ideas off and they can support you in your career
Yes.
journey, because your career and your personal life, they're all intertwined and they're all equally
Yes.
important. But
So
I'm happy to set up a meeting with people and answer questions and help out as best as I can.
I love it, Stephanie. What we'll do maybe is, even for those who go ahead and go to pushstrategist.com, sign up for our Push Strategist Insiders email list. Sign up. Once you sign up, we will make sure that those individuals will have the opportunity to sit with Stephanie. We'll maybe do 3 to 4 people who really express interest. So make sure that you become an insider. Otherwise, you're not going to get with this woman here. Okay. She's amazing. So
Yeah,
Stephanie, thank you. We wish you all the success with Google and your business and everything else you have going. We'll have you back for part 2.
sounds
Tell
good.
me again your IG. I want to make sure I put it on the screen here. What is your
Sure. It's
IG?
AZUNWIE.
Okay, perfect. So here is her IG. I'm going to save it, guys, so you guys can see it. Look her up. Like I said, go to pushstrategist.com, sign up to be a Push Strategist Insider, and you'll get the opportunity to sit in with Stephanie if you're one of those 3 amazing people that get to me first. In addition, guys, if you want to hear more of Push Talk Podcast, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Push Talks Podcast. You can listen to this on Apple Podcasts, Push Talks Podcast. And of course, you can always find me if you need that village. I'm here as your push strategist, looking to push you towards your purpose and business career beyond. Thank you, Stephanie, so much. I appreciate
Welcome.
it.
Thank you.